What's up, Tallahassee? Welcome to Thursday night's edition of FSU Weather. Starting off with that live look at Doak. As usual, sun's high in the sky, looks deceivingly warm outside. It's only 63 degrees, which is a lot chillier than what it has been, and the majority of the region is feeling that way. Look at that, temperatures all in the 60s. Hotspot, Apalachicola, currently at 66, down by the coast. The entire region looking extremely clear. If you were outside today, you noticed there's really nothing going on right now here in Tallahassee. Down south in South Florida, they're seeing just a little bit of showers. That's from the tail end of that frontal system. If you were outside last night, 8, 9, 10 p.m., you probably saw that it was raining. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. This weekend, though, we're going to look at those temperatures keeping in the 60s and 70s. Rain chances are going to remain low, and our lows are going to be 10 to 20 degrees below average, guys. We're looking at a lot cooler weather than what we've been experiencing. But keep watching because we have all this and more right now.
Melissa Geiger. What a cold day it's been out today. It actually ended up being really beautiful. We had a cold front come through early overnight. It brought through a lot of rainfall, even some lightning here and there. I remember watching it through my window last night before I went to bed. A lot of rainfall came through, and behind it, those cool temperatures have followed. We're seeing dry dew points and cooler temperatures. It's get down to the 40s tonight. That's colder than we've seen in quite a while, especially compared to the 80s that we just had just yesterday. Really hot temperatures dropped really rapidly behind that cold front. And we're expecting to see that for yet another day, seeing those cool temperatures, and it's going to get down to 37 degrees tonight. I don't know about you, but that's not okay with me, being from Florida. That's really cold. So make sure you grab your sweater if you're planning on going out tonight. We're going to talk about that later in the show and see what else is coming up for your Easter weekend. Hopefully it'll end up being a really clear, beautiful day for your Easter weekend. Maybe have some family coming up to enjoy the weekend with. Hope either way, it's going to be a really nice night. Hopefully we're looking at little to no rain for the rest of the week either, so really pleasant conditions to look forward to before we get back into those 80 degrees. So enjoy your 60-degree weather. It's going to be really chilly tomorrow. Make sure you're looking out for that. We're going to talk about all this and more. But now I'm going to turn it over to Annie at the wall to take a look at your local forecast.
Thanks, Melissa. It was pretty chilly out today. If you had a chance to go outside today, it's currently 63 degrees and sunny and a little windy out with 17 miles per hour. Taking a look at our almanac today, we did see a high of 67, which was just below our average, but we did see a low of 50 degrees, which is right on average for us. Current local temperatures, we do have 60s all around the board for most of the southeast. We're going to see 63 degrees here in Tallahassee. Dew points pretty low for the most part. We do see dry conditions all around the region. And that means that was due to our cold front that we just had pushed through this region to cause those dew points to drop. And our radar looking pretty clear out this evening. Today we're going to see those clear skies roll into tomorrow. As to the future radar, we're going to see those clear skies continue, not going to see any rain for the future into Friday, into the weekends. And as you can see, this dry, cool air continues into the weekend with those clear skies. Tonight's lows, we are going to see drop into the 40s for the Big Bend region, 41 degrees for Tallahassee. And tomorrow's highs, we're going to see 63 degrees here in Tallahassee. For the most part, 60s all across the Big Bend region. And tonight in Tallahassee, we are going to see 39 degrees. So if you're going to have plans tonight, you might want to bring a jacket out with you. But it is going to be very clear for tonight. And tomorrow, as you can see, we're going to see 63 degrees, pretty chilly out. It's going to be mostly sunny. And we have a wind speed of 12 miles per hour for tomorrow. So you might want to hold on to your hats for a little bit of wind. And taking a look at the week ahead, we are going to see 63 degrees for Friday, 78 on Saturday, and then 73 for Easter Sunday. We're going to see those cool temperatures drop into the 30s for tonight and the week ahead. And on Monday, we're going to see 77 degrees. And on Tuesday, we're finally going to hit that 80-degree mark back for Tuesday at 81, Wednesday at 83, and then finally we're going to see this chance of showers roll back in on Thursday with a 40% chance of rain. And I'm going to pass things off to Elizabeth for a look at Florida, the big picture for Florida.
Thank you, Annie. Yeah, so as we are looking at the whole state of Florida tonight,
I
we
gave
can
your
see
1
that we
minute
have
too
these
early. That's
showers
why
over here just over the West Palm
they turned you
Beach.
off. They turned you off.
Over the West Palm Beach
Dead Mike,
area,
keep talking.
and we're gonna see, we can see that
Turn it back on,
over
turn it back on, turn it back on.
those showers are over the West Palm Beach, over West Palm Beach area, and we that is where that front is sitting right now. So over the Big Bend region, not much happening as far as shower-wise. Actually, we are very, very dry over Pensacola and Panama City and Tallahassee. Here's a live look over the Panama City beach. It is currently 62 degrees, sunny, with actually a wind speed of 18 miles per hour, which is making it much, much more chilly tonight. Over Central Florida, we're seeing a few little showers pop up over Orlando and Daytona Beach, but not too much to worry about. Here are these showers, though, as we're seeing the cold front impact the West Palm Beach area right now. Here is a look over Gainesville, Florida. 65 degrees and sunny. It's a beautiful day over in Gainesville with our winds coming out of the north-northwest at 14 miles per hour. Here is the south. All of this rain is going to be moving down to Miami and the Homestead areas, so you have to watch out for the threat of some severe rain and thunder and lightning. Miami, here are those clouds that we're seeing, and clearly the cold front has not impacted you folks down there. It is currently 82 degrees compared to our mid-60s here in Tallahassee. As we can see, it's cloudy, and it started to become a little breezy. Winds coming out of the southeast at 10 miles per hour. Our current temps across the board, we're seeing lower 60s up in Pensacola and Tallahassee, and up into the mid-80s down south in Key West and Miami, seeing some lower 70s and upper 60s as we move north and into the central Florida region. Look at this. Brown means dry, green means very, very wet. So we see that over here it is very, very moist because of the rain. 73 in Key West, it is pretty much matching the temperature now, as opposed to 24 in Pensacola, 22 here in Tallahassee. That dry, cold air isn't really helping us, along with the winds that we have experienced today. Over the next day, we're going to see all of these temperatures drop, and we're going to see low 60s in Miami tonight, and the same for the Keys as we see the rain move out, and it's going to be a little bit more chilly up here up north. So here we go. Tonight in Florida, 37 in Tallahassee, guys. We have not seen this for a very, very long time. Very much below average. And tomorrow, we're going to see these lower temperatures stick around. It's going to be much, much cooler than it was. 77 in Key West, 74 in Miami, and 68 in Tallahassee. So next, I'm going to pass it along to Jesse to talk about the Southeast.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Yeah, I, for one, am amazed at how chilly it got so quickly. Here in the further south of the Southeast, we can see these clear skies in Gainesville. In Atlanta, temperatures of 50 in Atlanta, 65 in Gainesville. As you get further north, you see those clouds, you see that cooler weather. Look at that, up in Virginia, 37 degrees. I can be glad that I'm not up there. A lot of the Southeast is pretty dry because, you know, we had that frontal system come through. So things really cooled down and, like I said, got really dry. There's still a little touch down in South Florida, just a little bit of rain, and in Texas as well. Here in Brownsville, there's just a little bit of showers mixed in here just on the border, but it's really not a lot. So even if you look further up at Corpus Christi, maybe a pop-up shower or two, but most of the region is pretty dry. If you want to see the rain in Florida, it's coming down south of Lake Okeechobee, and it's going to hit Miami. Just a lot of showers, like I said, from that frontal system. Even Fort Myers, too, you're getting a touch of the rain as well. And those are going to continue throughout the evening. So we see this non-severe weather, and then we see this marginal risk. These are going to be thunderstorms, but once again, marginal risk is not something to be too worried about. Definitely keep an eye on your local weather stations, though, because you never know what can happen. Just be weather aware. Currently in the south, you see those temperatures getting really warm down south, 82 in Miami and 72 in Tampa. And as you go further north, things are cooling off. And here are those dew points. Look at that defined line where you can see where that frontal system's sitting with that 40 in Tampa, 70 in Miami. So it's a lot more moist down there than it is up here. Here in Tallahassee, it's 23, and further north, it's even drier, 18 in Nashville and 18 in Little Rock. So they're not feeling really any moisture at all, and it's cold too. As we're looking into tomorrow morning, it's going to be chilly here in the Tallahassee, Jacksonville area in the 50s. It's going to be warmer down south in the 50s, but look at that temperature in Nashville, 30 degrees. I can't be glad I'm not there. As we're going into tomorrow evening, so that's Friday evening, things warm up a little bit, but the temperatures aren't going to really get higher than the 50s and 60s for the majority of the southeast, except for Tampa. Obviously, they're going to keep it a little bit warmer, 72 in Miami and 73 in Key West. Looking on to Saturday morning, things are chilly once again with a majority of the region in the 30s. Looking even over at Texas, they're seeing chilly temperatures in the 50s, but still a little bit warmer than what we'll feel here in the Panhandle, as we're looking at temperatures in the 40s as well. Going into Saturday, things are going to warm up once again Saturday evening. A little bit warmer than the previous day with temperatures in the 60s, trying to climb back up. And Sunday morning, Easter Sunday, things are going to be chilly. Make sure you bring that coat with you. I know Easter, you want to wear your spring colors, your spring dresses especially. You're going to want to bring a jacket today if you're going to church. And as for Sunday night, things are finally starting to get a little bit warmer in the higher 60s, and even Tallahassee's finally going to break 70 this Sunday. Looking at these frost and freeze alerts, especially look at this area in Tennessee. You have a freeze warning across the state and a hard freeze warning until 9 tomorrow morning. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that. Keep an eye on your pets and your plants and your pipes, the 3 Ps, and make sure that you're aware of how cold it's going to get overnight. Tonight's lows, we're looking at 35 in Montgomery and then 39 in Tallahassee. 30s? It's literally April 1st, but I promise you, not an April Fool's joke. We're going to see really chilly temperatures tonight across the southeast. And tomorrow, not the best day, not the worst. It's going to be sunny, but like I said, it's going to be like deceivingly sunny, so you're going to walk outside and think you can do shorts and a t-shirt, but no. You're going to want a jacket tomorrow as well, as it's going to stay in the 60s. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and pass things on to Riley. He's going to sit at the desk with us with Elizabeth.
Yes, Jesse, and we do have a lot of that cold air moving into eastern portions of the country, and we are going to see that with some graphics we have this evening. We do have, Elizabeth, some very, very cold air moving into the eastern portions of the country, but for our friends on the west coast, that does mean some warmer temperatures.
Oh yeah, for sure. As you can tell, we have seen a drought over, over on the west coast, and we're seeing these frigid temperatures. I mean, at least for me, at the beginning of April. I mean, like.
Yeah, we are now in the 4th month of the year, and even places here in Florida, in the Panhandle especially, getting down into the 30s overnight. And lows compared to average, those 30s are about 10 to 20 degrees lower than what we should be. At least in the Florida Panhandle, a good bet would be around 50 degrees overnight this time of year. But we're going to feel a little bit more like winter here for the next couple days.
Oh yeah, and I was looking at the temperatures for tomorrow, and it's actually supposed to be a little bit more chilly tomorrow. So you need to grab your winter coats probably this weekend, and the wind chill isn't going to help at all too, as we saw this morning and throughout the day.
Yeah, well, luckily, as we head into our Easter morning, we are going to see things start to warm up a little bit for portions of the eastern coast. As you can see, the temperatures will not be as below average in portions of the east, but we will be having heat returning to the west. Luckily, we'll see later in our 5-day forecast here for Tallahassee, that cold weather will pretty much last for the weekend before we finally start to warm up.
Oh yeah, that is definitely something that is very nice to hear. As you just heard, we are going to see those warming temperatures. So don't be afraid that these cold spells are going to stay around for a long time.
Yeah, and speaking of our local forecast, let me get that for you right now. As I head over to the wall, we can take a look at our look at Doak Campbell Stadium this evening. So let's switch gears here. We see that 63 degrees here for Tallahassee, and temperatures are staying chilly and staying dry for this time of year. Those wind speeds are a little gusty today at 17 miles per hour, and we're going to see those winds continue to stay a little gusty as we head throughout the next couple hours. Our temperature almanac for the day today, we were about 10 degrees colder than our average high, so we are definitely feeling the effects from this cold northerly air moving into our region. Our low, though, is pretty much right on point for where we should be this time of year at 50 degrees. And we woke up very chilly today in the low 50s, and we didn't really warm up until the afternoon time frame. So hello there, how are you guys doing? And we did warm up to the mid-60s by our mid-afternoon time period. And that is, you know, at least some relief where you could maybe take off the jacket. No rain really showing up for our area here in the Panhandle. So we head farther down to South Florida, though. That is that cold front that brought some rain to our area last night, still bringing some showers to portions of South Florida. So if you're driving down I-95 to get to Miami today, you might encounter some windshield wiper weather. Now, we aren't expecting any more rain in our forecast here in the Florida Panhandle as we head throughout the next day or so. So we really dried out behind that cold front, which is some good news. Now, current temperatures are in the mid-60s across the region. Our warmest space is actually Apalachicola today at 66 degrees, reflecting more of that water temperature we're seeing over the Gulf right now. And into tonight, temperatures are going to get pretty cold, down into the low 40s for much of the region. You cannot rule out the upper 30s. As in Tallahassee here, we could even be hitting 39 degrees here tonight for our FSU forecast. Temperatures will be cool and conditions will be clear. Still a little gusty with the winds there coming from the north at 10 miles per hour. Now into the day tomorrow, we're going to warm up a little bit, but still reflecting a lot of the weather we saw today. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s, very unseasonable for this time of year, especially as we are now in April. And waking up tomorrow will be very cold. 43 degrees. If you want to walk your dog at 9 a.m., you want to wear that winter coat. Better time to do that might be later in the day, but the good thing is the chance of rain is pretty much non-existent, so we don't have to worry about an umbrella or a raincoat for that. And throughout the week ahead, we're going to stay dry throughout the weekend. Our rain chances won't return till the end of next week, but those temperatures warming up into the mid-70s by early next week, back into the 80s by the end of next week, Melissa. So if you are not a fan of the cold weather, the warm heat will return.
That's right. We're looking at warmer temperatures all the way over in the west, but cooler temperatures over here in the east. See, there's currently high pressure sitting over most of the middle of the country, keeping that rainfall pretty much non-existent over many parts of the U.S., except for up north where we do have some rain and snowfall going on up in New York and Washington, but that too seems to be on its way out behind that cold front that passed through just earlier this morning. So looking at our drought monitor, you see out west hasn't been getting enough rain at all. Hot, exceptionally dry out west over Las Vegas and San Francisco. So if you're in that part of the country, make sure you're not putting any cigarette butts out on any dry leaves or in any forested areas that could easily catch fire. We don't need to start wildfires. We know how devastating those can be out west in our country. See, there's a little bit of rainfall going in Las Vegas. They definitely need that right now. As for the rest of the country, not much going on. Got some snowfall and rainfall up north, but overall still staying pretty dry as we continue to have even drought in the U.S. and Florida. So that cold front is continuing to move its way out into the Atlantic. That's that tail end of that cold front coming through right now, just bringing through the last bits of rainfall this evening, and hopefully that'll be clearing out by tomorrow morning, leaving you with a really nice weekend for Easter. Look at the national radar up north. You see that rainfall moving off into the Atlantic, a little bit of snowfall coming in here, and just really moving through that area. That should clear out within the next 24 hours. Up north, even farther, up in Maine, see that continued pattern as that rainfall is moving off into the Atlantic and away from our states, looking to be a nice weekend in the next few days. Down at the tip of Texas, see further rainfall moving off, also leaving them pretty dry. It's just really consistent throughout much of the country, seeing those dry conditions as that cold front has made its way out. Back over by Los Angeles, getting some showers right now. Not a whole lot to look out for. I'm sure you really need that rainfall right now, seeing what those drought levels were looking like. So enjoy the rainfall while it lasts, because there's not a whole lot of it out there. Up further north, see a few showers here and there, but still much of the same thing. Still clear skies and not a lot of rainfall, so those high pressures are continuing to sit over the U.S. Zooming out, you can see current snowfall cover. See some snow over in the northwest states, over in Denver and Portland, and again up east in Quebec and Toronto, and even New York City and Washington. But middle of the state, still no snowfall anymore. Looking at clear skies and no snowfall on the ground as of right now. Zooming out at the big picture, 72 in Antonio. Kansas City is sitting at 52. Seeing warm temperatures even in the northwest at 71 in Billings and 76 in San Francisco. We're actually even colder in Tallahassee with 63 degrees and 78 in Miami. Seeing those warmer temperatures behind that cold front that came out west. As for our dew points, much of the country is seeing those really dry conditions right now. 24 in Dallas-Fort Worth, and 7 in Denver, 18 in Salt Lake City. The only green spot in this entire map is down in Miami with 70 for the dew point. The only humid spot in the entire U.S. is, of course, in Miami this time of year. As for our water vapor, dry conditions as those high pressures are sitting over our country. You see that water vapor moving off into the Atlantic following that cold front, and a little bit up north more where another front is trying to make its way through. But that large eastern trough is keeping really dry conditions for most of our country right now. You see cold air is incoming down from the north and bringing in cool conditions that are continuing into Florida right now, where we're seeing 40s right now. Lows compared to average, our lows are a lot lower than average down in the southeast, but warmer than average in the northwest. For tonight's lows, 36 up north and even in the 20s in a few spots. And in the 40s and 60s out west, they're actually warmer than us right now. As for tomorrow's highs, we're seeing much of the same thing. We're seeing consistent temperatures, 70s out west, a little bit cooler in the southeast in the 60s, and even colder in the northeast with 49 in Detroit. But now we're going to pass things off to Riley to take a closer look at the northeast.
And speaking of that cold in the northeast, here's the closer look at it, guys. We have a lot of very chilly temperatures. 40s if you're lucky and a little closer to the coast, but inland, we're talking about the 30s right now. Even some snow moving through places like Albany and Burlington. And this is April, so I mean, it's not out of the woods to see snow in April in the northeast. I've seen it before, but our dew points, they seem pretty low, but the temperatures are also low. So while the air is pretty dry, it doesn't mean you can't rule out a few flakes. And with basically, I do want to explain what's going on here. We do have a low pressure system that is just offshore, and we have a high pressure system that's a little bit farther to the west, over the Midwest right now. And that is really kind of sandwiching winds in between those two pressure systems, causing some gusty winds right now over much of the northeast, 26-mile-per-hour wind gust in Harrisburg. So you definitely want to hold on to your hat if you're going outside. This is a very interesting radar image. You don't really usually see such a sharp contrast in the direction that precipitation is moving. We see that lake effect snow right now across portions of upstate New York into Pennsylvania, and then you head a little farther to the coast over portions of New England like Boston up through Bangor. You see that rain moving a little bit more towards the northeast there, and that is showing that we do have some snow associated with this. So if you do see a snow shower, I know some of my family and friends out in New Jersey saw some snow earlier this morning. don't be alarmed because, you know, that's something you do usually see this time of year, and it's not really going to pick up much in terms of snowfall accumulation, but we do have what almost looks like popcorn on the radar right now. If you see some of the snow that is falling down, so you'll see the snowflakes on and off in portions of southwestern Pennsylvania, into portions of Maryland and West Virginia. And drier air is right along the coast right now. Some more moist air is moving into the region. And into tonight, the temperatures will stay on the colder side, getting below freezing in much of the area. And into the day tomorrow, temperatures don't get all that much warmer. We're talking about 40s closer to the coast and 30s farther inland, Jesse.
All right, are we going to see snow here in Tallahassee anytime soon?
No, we're not.
I didn't think so. So I know I was complaining about the cold. I can't really complain about it anymore since it's only 63 degrees and it's sunny here. So honestly, Tallahassee's got it going on. I'm not upset to be here. Today, our hour by hour, it started in the 50s this morning if you're an early riser or outside. Probably a little bit uncomfortable. I know I walked to the gym and it was freezing. But thankfully, we warmed up a little bit and we're hitting the mid-60s, and tomorrow is going to be fairly similar. But right now, all around the Big Bend region, temperatures are in the 60s. It's even gotten a little cooler in some areas since the beginning of the show. Notice Apalachicola is 4 degrees cooler, and further north, they're in the 50s now. So we're seeing this temperature cool down happen really quickly now as we're going into the evening. Once again, it's still really, really dry outside, 22 in Tallahassee, 28 in Thomasville. So dry air, clear skies, and cooler weather as we're heading into tonight. 39 is the high, a little bit of a breeze, but things are going to stay pretty clear. And as for tomorrow, very similar to today, 63 is the high. Don't worry, it's going to be sunny, so don't be afraid to go outside and enjoy that cooler weather. As for the week ahead, we're looking at temperatures to get a little bit warmer as we're moving on. High 60s Saturday, and then we're going to hit the 70s on Sunday for Easter Sunday. So I know that I'm looking forward to us breaking 70 again, and also breaking 80 at the beginning of next week. So do you like the cooler weather, or are you not a fan? How do you feel, Annie?
I am not a fan of this cool weather. I am a Floridian, so I cannot wait for that 80-degree temperatures to come back for the next week. Tuesday, we're going to hit 81. I'm so
I totally
excited.
feel that. I don't mind the cool weather, but it was one of those things where I went to the pool a few times, and I wasn't ready to stop. So I am glad that we're looking at clear skies throughout the weekend, that's for sure, and into the beginning of next week. And then that rain chance is going to pick back up probably a week from now. So we're looking at a lot of clear skies. But if you guys want to stay updated, don't forget to follow us on Twitter.
And follow us on Facebook at FSU Weather.
Yep, and I hope that you're currently watching us on YouTube. If you're not, maybe you're watching it in the future and you want to come back and watch us live on YouTube some other night at 6 p.m.
Yes, and then follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. Send in those awesome weather pics that you have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We don't seem to get a lot of photos sent in, so you can be one of the few that sends us something to look at. If you're up north, if you're one of Riley's family members with the snow, go ahead and send that in. We'd love to see it. I won't be jealous, but, you know, we can give it a like, I guess.
Aw.
But, you know, so my name is student meteorologist Jessica Kirk.
And I'm student meteorologist Annie Clark.
And I hope you guys had a wonderful day. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at 6 p.m. But have a great Easter weekend.